All right. Good afternoon. You know what today is?
Pi Day.
Exactly, Pi Day. That's an old joke. But it's an old joke, but it changes every day. Yeah. All right. Good afternoon. Just programming note, as you know, we will have Hans Grunberg, our special envoy for Yemen, brief you at the Security Council stakeout as soon as you release me. Tomorrow we will have a guest, and that is Dominic Allen, who is UNFPA's representative for Palestine. He will be joining us from Jerusalem after his recent trip to Rafah. I will start with an update for you on Haiti. Okay. I'm not early. Excellent. The Al Jazeera seats are up here. I'm just saying. The reserved seating in premium in first class. Yeah, tomorrow. Okay. Sorry. Update for you on Haiti, where colleagues and partners are continuing to work to deliver life-saving assistance to people in need, despite the limited access and despite, obviously, the very concerning security situation. Yesterday, the World Food Program was able to provide hot meals to about 13,000 displaced people. But the World Food Program tells us that this service in Port-au-Prince might be shut down next week if new funding is not secured. WFP urgently needs $10 million to be able to sustain this life-saving program. Overall funding this year for the humanitarian response plan is inching up very slowly, but it is inching up. We're now at 3.2% funded with about $21.6 million in the bank. Needless to say, much more is needed to meet Haiti's humanitarian needs for this coming year. On the health front, our medical partners remain concerned about the overall health situation, particularly about major shortages in the supply of blood. The Pan American Health Organization, UNICEF, and the International Organization for Migration, through their national partners, are providing medical assistance via mobile clinics at several sites for displaced people, as well as other key assistance such as water and psychological assistance. As you've heard, we are reconfiguring our presence in Haiti while remaining fully committed to delivering life-saving assistance to the people of Haiti. The United Nations has authorized a temporary relocation of some internationally recruited personnel from Haiti, while other who are crisis specialists and humanitarian personnel will be coming in to help with the operations on the ground. We are continuing to monitor and review measures that we take as the situation develops every day. As moving on to Gaza, as we told you, just to give you a sense of the scope of the rebuilding effort that will be necessary once this conflict ends. Our humanitarian partners are warning us that it will take years to clear the nearly 23 million metric tons of debris generated by the destruction of residential units and other properties across the Gaza Strip, and to clear up the unexploded ordnances. Also wanted to give you an update on Catherine Colonna, who is leading, as you know, the independent review into whether or not UNRWA is doing everything within its power to ensure neutrality and to respond to the allegations of serious breaches when they are made. She's wrapped up her visit to the region. Today, she met Jordan's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs in Amman, as well as the Commissioner General of UNRWA, Philippe Lazzarini, and she also met with Sigrid Kaag, who, as you know, is our Senior Humanitarian Reconstruction Coordinator. In addition, this is in addition to meetings with officials in Israel and in the occupied Palestinian territory. She also went to the Shufat refugee camp in the occupied West Bank, where she was able to look and observe UNRWA's operations and premises for herself. She also met with UNRWA staff in Amman and had conversations by phone with UNRWA staff in Gaza. This morning, Hans Grunberg, Special Envoy for Yemen, briefed the Security Council. He warned that what he called an escalatory environment that causes challenges to Yemen's mediation space. Despite that, he says his work continues and he remains focused on reaching a ceasefire and starting the political peace process. You'll hear from him in a few minutes. Also briefing the Security Council is Edem Wasornu, the Director of Operations and Advocacy at OCHA. She said that the recent UN assessment showed 11% increase in food insecurity in Yemen since November of last year. She urged donors to step up much-needed immediate funding. Ms. Colonna, sorry, and I got my piece of paper mixed up here. Just to add that Catherine Colonna will be in New York next week, and she will present the report, the interim report, to the Secretary General Monday or Tuesday of next week. Our peacekeeping mission in South Sudan tells us that that the temporary operating bases in Abiem Home in Unity State is now fully operational, with peacekeepers conducting patrols in the area. As we recently mentioned, the base was established in line with the mission's mandate to protect civilians and contribute to improving the security in areas bordering Warrap State and the Abyei region. Meanwhile, in eastern Equatorial State, the mission funded the reconstruction of a police post, which was recently handed over to local authorities in the village of Loa in Magui County. This new facility will serve as the operational base for approximately 350 newly trained South Sudanese police officers, helping to strengthen rule of law and security in the area. A quick update from Mozambique from our humanitarian colleagues and the impact of severe tropical storm Filippo and ongoing response. The authorities in Mozambique report that some 14,000 people have been impacted across central and southern parts of the country, with 2 people killed and more than a dozen injured. Our humanitarian partners are carrying out assessments, including the needs of women and girls in districts that have been hardest hit. We, along with our partners, have also been providing some preliminary assistance at the government's request. The International Organization for Migration has dispatched shelter kits to Sofala province, where UNICEF has sent some 4,000 kilograms of water purification supplies to Inhambane province. And our colleagues are stressing that additional funding for the humanitarian response in Mozambique is urgently needed. The storm comes at a time when the country is already facing its second largest displacement crisis since 2017, especially in the northern province of Cabo Delgado, where more than 120,000 people have been on the move due to a new wave of violence in recent weeks. The humanitarian response plan, which calls for $413 million, is just under 6% funded. Senior personnel appointment. Today we have appointed, or rather the Secretary General has appointed, François Batin-Langaya of Rwanda as the new humanitarian and new resident coordinator and humanitarian coordinator for Chad. This follows confirmation by the host government. Mr. Balingaya previously served as UN resident coordinator in the Comoros and head of office for OCHA in the Central African Republic. He brings with him 30 years of experience in international development and humanitarian assistance, including working with nonprofit organizations leading on humanitarian and emergency development work. We congratulate him on this very important job. Money today, under the headline, When the Saints Come Marching In. We say thank you to 2 member states who have paid their regular budget dues in full, and both are named after saints. The first country is, we believe, the only country in the world named after a woman. Exactement, St. Lucy. We both, I think Ephraim got it first. Now, you get a bonus point if you could tell me where St. Lucy was martyred. Sicily. Sometime 300 AD. I did my check. It's not from catechism. So we thank our friends in St. Lucia. The other country is also named after a saint. It is in Europe and is the 5th smallest country in the world. San Marino. Very good. We are now at 82. Amen. Okay, on that note, Amélie, come on, you go ahead.
Thanks, Steph. A couple of questions on Haiti. First, I want to be sure I understood correctly on the WFP, stopping the operation next week. What operation exactly? Is it only the operation in Port-au-Prince for the displaced people?
For the hot meal, yeah, that they need money for their emergency meals project. That's my understanding.
Okay, and this emergency meals project is for who? I mean, how many people?
It's right. I think as I said, they fed about 15. They distribute about 15,000 meals. It's for people who urgently need food. But we'll try to get a few more details from them.
Okay. Still on Haiti, yesterday, BNU announced an air bridge between Dominican Republic and Haiti to bring on personal and assistance. So can you give us a little bit more details about this air bridge? When is it going to start? Is it helicopter, planes? How often? I mean,
I think it is it's basically an air connection of aircraft. My understanding, helicopter flying in and out between Dominican Republic and Haiti. It's bringing in some supplies. It's also taking some UN staff out and bringing other UN staff in. I mean, it's already operating. Yeah. Edie.
Just a quick follow-up on that. Is the drawdown of UN staff in Haiti completed?
First of all, it's not really a drawdown. It is somewhat a reduction of the footprint, but more importantly, it's a rejiggering of the configuration of people. So some people who don't need to be physically in Haiti are being moved to the Dominican Republic to work remotely. Others who have specializations that are more needed, notably on humanitarian crisis and coordination, are coming in.
Okay, and a couple of other questions on Catherine Colonna's report, interim report. Are we going to get to see it?
I don't believe the interim report may not be public. The Secretary General has pledged that the final report will be public. What we're hoping to have is Madame Colonna speak to you when she's here.
Okay, and secondly, North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, has ordered his troops to prepare for war. Does the Secretary General have any comment?
I think a lot of the language and the rhetoric we have seen is indeed very concerning, and we would call for not only, obviously, our usual call for a return to diplomacy, but a lowering of the rhetoric. Volodymyr, then Ephraim, then Alan.
Thank you, Stéphane. In a few days, Russia is going to attempt to organize what it calls the presidential elections in the occupied territories. And tomorrow, the Security Council expected to meet on this issue. What's the position of the Secretary General on this issue?
We believe, and we have been very clear on the need to respect the full territorial integrity of Ukraine. Our position on that has not changed. Ephraim, then Alan, and then we'll move back up.
Thank you, Steph, and I'm sorry if you've been asked this in the past couple of weeks.
That should not stop you from asking again.
Yes.
What's
the UN presence like in Al Jazeera state in Sudan? And it's been over a month of complete telecom blackout in the area. How is that affecting the operations there?
I will try to get an update from what is actually happening in Al Jazeera state. It has been, if one could use that expression, one of the many epicenters of suffering in Sudan. The renewed fighting that we're seeing around Khartoum and Omdurman is extremely concerning. The fact that neither party has heeded the Secretary General, and others call for a silencing of the gun during Ramadan, is frankly heartbreaking for the people of Sudan. And any telecommunications blackout is obviously makes any humanitarian response that much more complicated, that much more difficult. It also, to state the obvious, makes it that much more difficult to get news out of there, to get a clear picture of what is going on. Alan.
Thank you, Stéphane. The personnel of the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant is reporting that today Ukrainian army attacked the plant and dropped the explosive right near the fuel tank. What is your comment regarding that?
We have stated over and again, and we're very concerned about the situation around the nuclear power plant, and it's incumbent on everyone to ensure and to guarantee its safety. One would hate to even think about what could happen. Sorry, I'm coming back.
Steph, one more on Haiti.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the political parties said they are not supporting the political transition or the presidential council, not to mention the gangs that are threatening against this process. How can the UN move the process?
Well, the process needs to be Haitian-led. The Haitian political class, the Haitian civil society stakeholders need to find the best solution and the best way forward, and there is a plan that has been laid out. Our role is a supporting role. Our special representative remains in contact with many political stakeholders in civil society, encouraging them to act in the best interest of the people of Haiti to resolve this crisis as quickly as possible. Deji.
On the attack of the UNRWA distribution center in Gaza, does the UN receive any explanations why Israeli forces?
We've seen what's been said in the press, but again, I would encourage you to ask our UNRWA colleagues.
But the Secretariat didn't receive any
No,
reply.
not that I'm aware of, not here. Okay. Bassam.
My question was already asked, but another question about the delivery of aid through that new road that happened 2 days ago. Are there plans?
From the northern of Gaza, on Gaza, yeah, sorry.
So many roads that are blocked, so many
Right,
places in the
right.
world.
No, on
sadly.
Gaza, the new road that
Yeah.
was used a couple of days ago. Are there plans to,
I
has
mean,
it
I
been
know-
reused again?
Yeah, I mean, our WFP colleagues are looking at all options. I've not been briefed, or I'm not aware of any new use of that road since WFP went up there a couple of days ago.
Okay, and just like another follow-up on UNRWA, no response so far from the Israelis regarding the attack. Just another follow-up on that.
Not that I've been told. Tony.
Shukran, Steph. Is the Secretary General following the side events of the CSW 68?
My sense is that you're leading me somewhere. Which
Okay,
event?
Multiple protests break out as SRSG Patton speaks at CSW side event on sexual violence in conflict. Some chant every time the UN lies, a Palestinian woman dies. And most are upset over Patton's recent report on sexual violence in Israel on October 7. Any comment?
Our comment is that we fully support the work that Pramila Patton has done, not only on this issue, but on sexual violence in conflict all over the world. And she has the full confidence of the Secretary General. Sahar, and then Stefano, and then Anade.
Thank you. Do we know if the special representative for Haiti, Ms. Maria Isabel Salvador, will be leaving Haiti, if she will be part of UN personnel leaving Haiti or
Definitely
staying?
not. No, she's the head of the mission. She's in Haiti.
So she will be staying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Stefano, then Anade.
Thank you, Stéphane. Is a follow-up on Haiti. On Haiti, the UN is failing in its role of responsibility to protect. Does the Secretary General agree?
Can you rephrase the question?
Because the Security Council, I believe last October, passed a resolution and now we are in a situation even worse that no one
On
is
Haiti.
coming yet.
Yeah.
Does the Secretary General think that the UN role of responsibility to protect when a state completely fails shouldn't be the one to wait for the Haitian to figure out, but
Well, I mean,
run and protect,
The
come and protect
the
the
invoking
people.
of the responsibility to protect is one for member states. On our part, we have colleagues who remain on the ground at great personal risk, feeding people, trying to help them in a moment of crisis. The Secretary General put forward what he believed at the time to be the quickest possible way to get police and security on the ground through a support mission. Let's be clear, we're not getting the money that we need for that mission to put together, right? There's $10 million and change in the bank. That's a drop of what will be needed, which is in the hundreds of millions of dollars. We've seen a number of member states step up, but there also needs to be a stepping up of the Haitian political class to find a way forward and act in a way that will be in the best interest of the Haitian people. Anade.
Thank you, Steph. You mentioned the Secretary General has appointed a new resident coordinator and humanitarian coordinator for Chad.
I did.
Thank you.
Just a few minutes ago.
2 days ago, you mentioned that the WFP was going to stop supplies and services in Chad because there was a lack of funding. You said that in April, it's likely that WFP operations will end. Has there been any money that has been increased? Has any?
No, I mean, I haven't been told of any money since I mentioned it 2 days ago, but we can check with WFP.
Yes, please. And could you give us an update on how the humanitarian coordinator, the new appointment, is going to hopefully reinvigorate the situation? How many weeks do you think are left in terms of services in Chad? You said.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. A UN humanitarian coordinator doesn't print money, right? So it is great that we have a new person, and he will bring energy and enthusiasm to his work, but the donors need to step up and fund the operations. And I know our WFP colleagues and all humanitarian colleagues are doing what they can to get money.
Do you have any idea how many weeks are left in supplies?
I don't, but I'm sure somebody else does, and we will try to get you that information. Sinan, and then we'll go to Michelle on screen.
Thank you. Yesterday, a minor Kurdish boy was killed by a settler in the occupied Afrin countryside on northwest Syria. As you know, 85% of population displaced, and now who left there facing deaths by occupiers. What would you like to say about that?
I haven't seen that report, but I'll look into it. Michelle Nichols.
Steph, sorry if I missed you saying this, but has the OIOS investigative team left Israel?
I've asked for an update. I hope to have one either later today or tomorrow from our OIOS colleagues.
Okay, great. And if there's any update on timing of their final report as well, that would be great too. And then just yesterday...
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yesterday, Secretary Blinken mentioned that he'd been on a phone call with a few countries and the UN talking about the maritime corridor to Gaza. Who was on that call for the UN, and any kind of readout?
I believe it was Sigrid Kaag or someone from her team. We have been staying in very close contact with all of those member states in the European Union who are dealing with the maritime operation out of Cyprus, trying to help with some of the monitoring and the verification, and obviously to ensure that broadly this all fits into the vision of increasing the aid that goes into Gaza. Deji,
okay,
and then,
great. And just to back up Bissam's question from earlier, if there has been any more use of that fence road in Gaza?
There has not been.
Can you tell us?
Okay,
let us know if there is.
Yes, I'll let you know on everything.
Thank you.
Deji, and then we'll go. Hans Grunberg is waiting for you guys.
Oh, sorry. First, a quick follow-up on Michelle's question. So we had these talks and phone calls. Now, do you have a clearer picture what the UN's role would be in this maritime corridor?
Not more than I've shared with you.
Okay. Second, I want to ask the opinion from the UN. Today, the U.S. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer had a speech which is very tough on the Israeli government, said, I believe a new election is the only way to allow for a healthy and open decision-making process about the future of Israel at a time where so many Israelis have lost their confidence in this vision and direction of their government.
It's not for me to comment on what Senator Schumer said about the Prime Minister of Israel.
But do you think the UN can still cooperate with the current Israeli government?
Whether it's any country that is a member of this organization, we deal with the government in power, with the authorities in power. Shahar, then we'll definitely go. Thank you.
Thank you. Just one more question. Has UN staff at Hotel Caribe, which is in Port-au-Prince, received any threats there at all? Are they relocating?
I'm not going to get into our security situation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all, and Mr. Grunberg is waiting for you downstairs. I mean, not down, whatever, you know where. Security, the stakeout. All right, hasta la vista, hasta mañana.
Thank you.